Good morning, Oakland Stars. This is Mrs. Turnley, your school counselor, and I'm coming to you today to welcome you to our very first virtual career fair. November is National Career Development Month. And with that being said, I wanted to bring to you something really special. Our first ever career fair. Now, although it's done a little bit different this year, our participants can't come to the school and you can't ask your questions to them face to face. I thought I would put together a virtual career fair where our participants recorded short videos telling you, yes, you, about some of the awesome things they do in their profession. And so I want you to think about what they're telling you in the video, and this can kind of give you an indication of what area and what route you probably are thinking about going towards as far as what career and profession you want to have. And so listen closely, because a lot of them have a common theme about telling you what classes are very important and what classes they had to take in order to continue to grow and work towards that particular degree in their field. So I just want to come on and welcome you all, students. Take time to listen to our participants. And I want to take this special moment to thank all of our wonderful participants who took our time to record a short video for all of our students. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I greatly appreciate you. Enjoy. And again, welcome to our first ever virtual career fair. Thank you and have an awesome day.
Hey, I'm meteorologist Sige Galindo. I work at WMC Action News 5. Our studios are located in Midtown Memphis, and I'm excited that I get to join you for your career fair. I'm going to answer some of your questions first, and I'll give you a little bit of a tour of our TV studio and talk about what it is I do as well. So the first question is, does my job require a college degree? Yes, absolutely. In fact, I have 2 degrees. I have a master's degree as well in geoscience, but you don't have to go exclusively into meteorology. That is best, but you can also study physics or atmospheric science. Those will all fall under the weather umbrella, but you definitely should be studying something in science. That will help. What subjects should you take to prepare for this career? Well, calculus is a great subject to take. It really helps you visualize things in the atmosphere, because of course our whole job is to forecast what's going on in the atmosphere. And again, anything related to earth science, atmospheric science, meteorology directly, those are all great things to study. The next question is, do I work with other people? I do, but you can see as we look around, their desks are all empty, and that's because of COVID. But pre-COVID, we would all be in here depending on what shift. So yes, definitely I work with other people. We all work together as a team to get the forecast together and things of that nature. Do I work indoors or outdoors? Well, both. It depends. Most of the time I'm indoors doing the forecast, broadcasting the weather inside of our studios, but there are times when we go out live to cover weather outside. We do that every once in a while. We try to do it safely. I know that when I was in college, I got to storm chase a lot. But we did it very safely. It wasn't just me. We had a team of meteorologists that went out to chase weather. And it helps us to study those things closely and to be able to help keep you guys safe by doing that. Do you travel for your job? I don't usually travel for my job unless, again, there is some big weather story that we want to cover. But normally I stay in studio. Why did I choose this career? Well, when I was I guess I was about 7 years old, maybe 9 years old, 3rd grade. I was in 3rd grade for sure, so maybe 9 years old. We had a thunderstorm. I grew up in Virginia, and that thunderstorm blew the lights out in our classroom, and our teacher was telling us to go in the hallway. Well, I was trying to look out the window to see exactly what happened. I was just so fascinated by the fact that something weather related blew the lights out. So that drove my drive to want to be a meteorologist. How many years have you had this job? Do I have to tell you? Actually, I have been doing this for about 16 years, so it's been a long time, and I've been everywhere from the East Coast to Virginia. I worked in San Diego, California. I've worked in Charleston, South Carolina. I've worked in Columbia, South Carolina. So I feel like I've been everywhere, and now I'm here in Memphis, which is awesome as well. So what does my typical day look like? Well, it depends on the day. Normally I come in very early in the morning. If it's let's take a Sunday for instance. On Sunday I come in very early in the morning. I get here at about 3 a.m. So hopefully if you want to do this job, you don't mind getting up early, but that's just if you work the early shift. So I'll get up at 3 a.m. I come in, I forecast the weather. I look at all kinds of forecast models. And what that is those are models that try to take all of the elements in the atmosphere, and then it puts out what it thinks will happen over the next several days. So we use those, we use our radar, we have several different things we use to forecast the weather. We look at upper air charts to see what's going on in the upper levels, because a lot of times that drives our systems. So there are so many facets to weather, and to me that's what makes it the most exciting, which is the next question. I think it's exciting because you don't do the same thing every day. The weather is constantly changing, so it's never the same, and there's always a different set of elements to look at in the atmosphere normally, except for this week we're kind of quiet. So what are some of the things you don't like about your job? Well, the only thing I don't like about my job is the makeup and the hair portion, because you got to look good if you're going to be on TV, right? But that is probably my least favorite job. I don't hate it, but I prefer being behind the scenes forecasting the weather. So I am in the studio right now. As you can see behind me, if you've ever watched Bluff City Life, that's the set for that. I don't work on that set, but here is the set that I work on the most. And a lot of people always wonder what the green screen is like, and there it is. Ta-da! It's the green screen. Now, if I were to wear green, I would just disappear. You wouldn't see me. So we don't wear green on the air, of course. But of course, you don't really see this wall. What happens is the cool people that work in the back, our TMP operators, they put a picture over this. So you see all of the graphics like the 7-day forecast and the tonight, tomorrow, and all that good stuff when you're watching us on TV. And the way we see it is we look in these monitors. We cheat a little bit. Let me scoot back so you can see that. We look in these monitors which display what graphics we are using. All right, so let me show you where I work when I'm not on the green screen. Sometimes I'm working at this computer, and I'm gonna see if I can turn it around here. Probably just made you dizzy, right? So here's our computers that we work on right here, and this is where we build all of our graphics. It may be a little bit hard to see. I'm trying to give you a good view there. There we go. And so that is where we build our graphics. And then sometimes we work over in this area. So it's pretty hard to see. This is called our weather pod. So these are all places that we work. Right now I'm working on the headlines graphic right there. And you can see I'm talking about the fact that it's gonna be a clear and chilly night, and temperatures are gonna be close to average, which is low 60s. So it's gonna feel like fall for once here in the Mid-South. I shouldn't say for once, because a couple weeks ago it also felt like fall. Anyways, that is a little peek inside what I do here, and a look at the studio as well. Hopefully there's some of you who also want to be future meteorologists. Feel free to contact me if you need any more information. Have a good day.
Hello everyone at Oakland Elementary. I hope you all are having a great day. It's wonderful to be with you today for your career day. My name is Zanetta Lowe, and I'm an anchor and investigative reporter at WREG News Channel 3, and I'm going to show you around our studio. So this is where I work every day. This is actually a brand new studio. It's really big, so we have a lot of space to do a whole lot of cool things. We're not as many people are at work today or these days or working in the building because of the coronavirus, but it's pretty cool. Like you see the pyramid behind me, the Bass Pro Pyramid and all of that. Those are actually pictures, and the bridge that's all lit up behind me. This is all part of our new studio. So anyway, it's really fun to be here. I anchor our daybreak and our noon newscast. So my day actually starts at about 2:30 in the morning. That's when I get up. Then I get to the studio about 3:30, and our show goes on the air at 4:30. We go from 4:30 until 7, and then we still have news to do after that. But there is a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes. You see us up here delivering the news, but there are people who write, there are people who run cameras, there are people who direct, there are people who make sure that our audio sounds good and that we look good. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that you don't necessarily get to see. I'll also mention to you that I'm an investigative reporter. We have reporters and photographers here that put together stories every day. They're brand new. They don't know what they're going to do every day. They come in the morning or in the evening and they have a meeting. Now that meeting is virtual, kind of like this career fair, and they talk about things going on in the community, things that are important to you and your families, things that are happening in your neighborhood. And they go out and they talk to people about those stories. And then they put those together, and that's what you see every day in the morning and at noon and at 4, 4:30, 5, 6, and 10, and then all over again. Then there are some of us that work on stories that take a little bit longer. We ask hard questions, things that maybe aren't going right in communities, and try to get answers for people who haven't been able to get them. So we work on a lot of stories, and sometimes they take a little longer to put together. And we put those pieces together, and they come on usually at 4, 5, 6, or 10. So anyway, that's just part of a little bit about what I do here. And I want to take some time though to answer some of the questions that I know you guys have. So number one, does your job require a college degree? Well, technically it doesn't require one, but a lot of people have them. So they have a 4-year degree. Mine is in telecommunication and film with a focus in broadcast communication. Some people have degrees in English, people have all sorts of degrees. Actually, in this business, your experience matters more than your degree. Some people have master's degrees and above, but getting experience at a TV station is what's most important. People will ask for your resume and they'll ask where you went to college, but what they're going to ask for is to see what kind of work you've done. So that means getting an internship, getting practice before you go into the business. That's the biggest thing. What subjects should I take to prepare for this career? That's a great question. So while you see us on television, that's the very end of the day. That's what we've put together. What we do is spend a lot of time researching and writing. So any kind of writing classes, also, although English writing is a little bit different from the way we write, that's your basis. So learning how to write, doing a lot of reading, that will help prepare you. Also, now that there are a lot of technological classes being offered at schools these days, that's great. Some schools have their own video production classes and things like that. So, and you guys have phones. You have Androids and iPhones, and you can learn how to edit movies on your own phones, and plus you're on Instagram and Snapchat. Well, you're in elementary school, so you probably shouldn't be. But anyway, learning how to edit, learning how to put together videos and things like that, all of that is helpful. Do you work indoors or outdoors? Well, right now we're working a lot inside. Outdoors, normally we'd go and interview people wherever they are. So we typically go wherever the story is. That's why you see reporters covering tornadoes and hurricanes and fires and things like that. We go wherever the story leads us. So do you travel for your job? Yes, in that regard we do. Usually it's in this area though. So that means Mississippi, other parts of Tennessee, Arkansas, they're, places like that, so to speak. Why did you choose this career? Well, I did an internship when I was about 17, 18 years old. I was I believe a junior in high school leading into my senior year. I did an internship at a TV station in my hometown, and I fell in love with it, and I've been doing it since then. What's the most exciting thing about your job, and describe your typical day? Well, I've already described my typical day, so we don't have to do that part. But I think one of the most exciting things about my job is it's different every day. We learn something new, we're able to share new information, and ultimately, I love it because we're helping people. That's what we're here for. The news can be informative, it can be empowering, and it can help people make decisions about their daily life. So that's what's so great about what we do. You always meet new people and learn new things, and so that's really fascinating to me. Anyway, it has been wonderful spending time with you on Career Day at Oakland Elementary. I hope you learned a little bit about the news business and what we do here at WREG News Channel 3. Thank you.